The year is 1924. The place is Cromwell, Oklahoma. The town is overflowing with bootleggers, oil money, and corruption. Down a muddy street walks a 70-year-old marshal. He has been in this kind of fight before. For 50 years, it had been his work to bring law where there was chaos. But that night, the danger was not an outlaw. It was another lawman, drunk and out of control. When the smoke cleared, one of the last lawmen of the old frontier was dead. His name was Bill Tilghman. He had helped to tame Dodge City and hunted the Doolin Gang. And when he saw the West that he knew begin to disappear, he did something no other lawman did. He picked up a movie camera and tried to save the final days of the frontier on film. This is the story of the lawman who watched the Old West die and filmed it as it did. William Matthew Tilghman was born on the 4th of July, 1854. His family moved to the wild Kansas Territory when he was a boy. Life there was about survival. By the time he was 17, he was not in a school. He was on the plains, hunting buffalo to feed the railroad crews. It was a hard job, but it taught him the land and the ways of the frontier. He then worked as a scout for the army. Then in the 1870s, he found his life's work, the law. He went to the one town everyone knew as the heart of the Wild West, Dodge City, Kansas. Dodge was the wildest of the cattle towns. It drew in cowboys, gamblers, and men looking for a fight. But Tilghman was a different kind of lawman. He was not known for a quick draw. He was known for being steady, brave, and fair. He served as a deputy for the famous Bat Masterson, who was said to have called Tilghman the greatest of us all. Tilghman did not drink, so his mind was always clear. He rose in the ranks, and in 1884, he became the marshal of Dodge City. But the great cattle drives began to end. As Kansas grew quiet, the outlaws moved south, and Tilghman went after them. In 1889, a great land rush opened Oklahoma Territory. Bill Tilghman was there. He claimed a piece of land near the town of Guthrie. The territory was a mix of good people trying to build a life, and criminals trying to take it from them. The place needed lawmen. In 1891, Tilghman became a deputy U.S. Marshal, working under Judge Isaac Parker, also known as the Hanging Judge. He would be one for almost 20 years. It was in Oklahoma that his legend was made. Outlaw gangs terrorized the territory. The Doolin-Dalton Gang was famous for robbing banks and trains. To stop them, a special group of lawmen was formed. Tilghman, along with Heck Thomas and Chris Madsen, became known as the Three Guardsmen. They were three of the best lawmen on the frontier. By 1896, the outlaw Bill Doolin was on the run. He was in great pain from rheumatism and went to a bathhouse in Eureka Springs, Arkansas to soak his joints. Tilghman alone tracked him there. He walked into the bathhouse alone. He saw Doolin, who did not even know who he was. After a short struggle, Tilghman arrested the famous outlaw without a single shot fired. Doolin later escaped and was killed by other lawmen. But the capture made Tilghman a living legend. By the turn of the century, the Old West was vanishing. The great outlaw gangs were gone. The open range was fenced in. But just as the real West was fading, a new, made-up West was being born in movie theaters. And Bill Tilghman did not like it. Early movies made heroes out of criminals. They made lawmen look like fools. For a man who had risked his life fighting these outlaws, this was wrong. He saw the true story of the West, The hard work, the danger, the real justice, being replaced by cheap stories. He decided he had to do something about it. So Tilghman did something no one expected. A lawman of his fame decided to make a motion picture. In 1915, he and some old friends started a film company. Their goal was to make a movie that told the truth. The film was called The Passing of the Oklahoma Outlaws. It was not a Hollywood Western. Tilghman directed the film and played himself. He filmed it in the real places where the events happened, at outlaw hideouts, and the locations of gunfights. He even had real people play themselves. Fellow Marshal Chris Madsen acted out his own part in the story. A former member of the Doolin Gang played himself on screen. Tilghman was making one of the first documentary films. He was using this new technology to save a piece of history before it was gone forever. But time has been unforgiving. Shot on fragile nitrate film, most of Tilghman's movies have been lost to decay or fire. Only incomplete versions survive. They remain a haunting echo of the world they captured. By 1924, he was 70 years old, but the law was in his blood, and he would answer its call one last time. The call came from Cromwell, Oklahoma. It was an oil town, and it was out of control. Cromwell was filled with illegal bars, gambling, and corruption. The good citizens of the town begged the old lawman to come and clean it up. His friend, Chris Madsen, warned him not to go. "You are not so young, and your draw is a little slow," he said. "Someone might kill you." But Tilghman took the job. On the night of November 1st, 1924, he went to arrest a man causing trouble outside a dance hall. The man was Wiley Lynn, a federal agent who was drunk and corrupt. What happened next is not perfectly clear, but it ended in only one way. As Tilghman tried to take his gun, Lynn pulled out a second hidden pistol. He then shot Tilghman several times. Bill Tilghman, the man who had faced the most dangerous outlaws of the West, died on a muddy street. He was killed by another man wearing a badge. Later, Wiley Lynn was found not guilty of the murder. He said it was self-defense. Years later, justice of a different kind caught up with him. In 1932, Wiley Lynn was killed in a shootout during a robbery, a violent end that some saw as poetic justice for his life of corruption and lawlessness. Tilghman's body was buried at the Oklahoma State Capitol, an honor reserved for the state's greatest heroes. For 50 years, he was a man who brought order to the frontier with a gun and a badge, a symbol of the justice that tamed a wild land. But as that land vanished, he became something else, a man who tried to save its memory with a camera. He was among the first to see that the real history of the West was being buried under the fiction that would replace it. He hunted outlaws, then he directed them in his own films. He stared down the barrel of a gun, and then through the lens of a camera. He did it all because he believed the true story was the one that mattered the most. His story asks a question: when an era dies, who gets to tell its stories? The people who lived it, or the myths that follow? Using film, Bill Tilghman tried to tell the truth.